morning students. Yesterday we have discussed about the point defects, crystal defects, and today I am going to say electrical properties. See here, today I am going to discuss about electrical properties. Okay, so generally in solid state, how the current is producing, what are the properties it will show the to produce current. Okay, so coming to electrical conductivity in solid state, it will show some properties. Generally the electrical properties is having three types. That is, first one is conductors. See, what do you mean by conductors? Conductors are metals are same. So generally here what means? First one is conductors. So conductors are metals. Generally coming to metals, what do you mean by metals? Metals is nothing but what? It will be having some characteristics like it is a good conductor of electricity, and also it is having high tensile strength, and it shows malleability and ductility nature. Okay, metals are very hard in nature also. So coming to here, same properties conductors also will show. Okay, so means what? Conductors will exhibit good conductor of electricity, conductors will show good conductor of electricity, which is having the range nearly 10 power 3 to 10 power 8 ohm inverse and centimeter inverse. 10 power 3 to 10 power 8 ohm inverse, centimeter inverse is the range of the conductors. Means at this range it will produce the current. Okay, so here at room temperature only, so it decreases and also increases with temperature. So according to examples, coming to examples, it is having TiO, VO and NaCl structures. The structure of NaCl and also VO, TiO will be the examples of the conductors which will produce the current. Okay, this is about current conductors. Conductors is nothing but what? These will produce good conductor of electricity which is having the range 10 cube to 10 power 8 ohm inverse centimeter, and these are the examples. TiO is a metal, titanium. V is nothing but vanadium, titanium oxide, vanadium oxide, sodium chloride structure. So these will produce the conductors. This is about first type. Coming to next type, one more thing here, the metals means purity of metals, means it is producing complete electrical conductivity. Okay, so this can be measured with a resistance ratio. So we'll be having some ratio, that is resistance ratio, which is denoted by rho 300 Kelvin to rho 4.2 Kelvin. So this is the ratio to calculate the purity of metals. Okay, so this is about the conductors. So at low temperature almost the current is negligible, means it will not show any current. Why it is not showing any current? Means there will be some impurity and lattice defects. Because of that reason only it will not show any conductor at low temperature. Okay, so this is about conductor. Next one we are going to have insulators. Insulators or non-metallic conductors. Okay, see here, this is an conductors, this is an insulator or non-metallic conductors. So here what I have told you, this is a good conductor of electricity which will produce current and it will having the order. Coming to here, these solids, whatever solids we are taking here, it will never produce current. Means these are bad conductors of electricity. Why? Because we'll be having generally completely filled and empty. So this is an empty band. This is an completely filled band. Means we can say this is an conduction band also. And this is an vacant valence band. This is an conduction band, this is an valence band. So here what happens means there will be some energy between these two bands. So whenever you see here the completely filled band and here empty band. Band is nothing but which will show the properties of current, we call it as band. Here completely filled or conduction band and valence band. So what is the difference between these two bands? What is the gap between very large? Okay, the gap between these two bands is very large. So that one we call it as forbidden energy gap. Forbidden energy gap is nothing but the energy difference between the conduction band and empty band or valence band, we can say forbidden energy gap. So coming to insulators, so how it is, see here it is completely filled, this is empty. Okay, valence band is nothing but, for example, if you are taking any atom, let us take hydrogen. So how hydrogen it is? Only 1s1, means the outermost electron is 1. The outermost electrons we are calling as valence electrons. Based upon the valence electrons only we will be exhibiting the electric current. Okay, so here the energy gap between these two is very large. So that's why it is not producing any current, means that's why it is not showing any electrical conductivity. So this is known as insulator. So means what? These are bad conductors of electricity. These are bad conductors of electricity. Nearly its range is, means it is having nearly order 10 to the power minus 10 to the power minus 22 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. So plastic will not produce. General example we can say plastics. Plastics will not produce current. Diamond will not produce current. Graphite will not produce current. Phosphorus and silicon. If you take sugar also, it will not produce current. See here, what are insulators? Insulators is also known as non-metallic conductors. So here coming to insulators, the solids will not show any electricity, we call it as insulator. Why? Because it is not showing current, means the energy gap between conduction band and valence band is very large. Because of this reason it is not showing any current. Okay, so it is having nearly range, the order is 10 to the power minus 10 to 10 to the power minus 2. So it is in plus. Okay, coming to here, the order power is very minute, so that's why it is not producing any current. Plastic will not produce current. Diamond will not produce current. Phosphorus, sulfur and also sugar molecules are not going to produce current. So this is about insulators. Next, coming to semiconductors. Semiconductors. Okay, so conductors means completely current will produce. Insulators means what? Here it will not produce completely, it not will produce current. But coming to semiconductors means what? means it will produce, means semi, in the name itself only we are knowing semi means what? It will produce half current. Means what? How it will produce half current? So here it is a intermediate between conductors and insulators. See here, it is a intermediate between conductors and insulators. We call it as semiconductor, or we can say semiconductors also a moderatory of conductors and insulators. We call it as semiconductors. So it is going to have range 10 to the power minus 4 to 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power 4 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Okay, what do you mean by semiconductors? Intermediate between the solids which produce current are in intermediate between metals, means metals and insulators, metals and non-metals, is known as semiconductors. It is having order 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power 4 ohm inverse and centimeter inverse at room temperature. Okay, so means what here? I have told you here at insulators the energy gap this is a conduction band completely filled, this is a valence band. Okay, so here the energy gap, how it is there? Very small, so that's why it is producing current. Okay, so it consists of again two types, that is insulators. Semiconductor consists of two types, that is insulators. Insulators means what? Means it will also produce current. Why? Because it is having very small energy gap between conduction band and also where it is having at conduction band it is having and also valence bond. Okay, the energy gap is very small. Here temperature increases. When we increase the temperature, automatically it increases. Okay, so but here, coming to here, pure metals, we call it as insulators. Pure metals of semiconductors, we call it as insulators. Why? Because insulators I have told you, sorry, a small mistake. This is an intrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor is nothing but what here? Pure metals of semiconductors, we call it as intrinsic semiconductor. So here examples we are going to take is silicon and germanium. Pure silicon and germanium are the examples of the intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so the conductivity means at the temperature of the conductor of a semiconductor mainly depends upon, means whatever holes it is producing. If you have seen in the Scotty defect, Frankel defect, it is producing some holes in the metal excess and metal deficiency defects. Okay, so what will happen? Because of that hole producing only, means because of that point defects only, will be getting the current. Okay, coming to here, intrinsic semiconductor. Next one is extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so here extrinsic semiconductor is nothing but impure metals. We call it as impure metals of semiconductors. We call it as extrinsic semiconductors. Okay, so semiconductors very important for 4 marks. Listen carefully. Semiconductor is nothing but the solid which possess conductivity, which is in the intermediate between conductors and insulators. We call it as semiconductors. It is having range 10 power minus 6 to 10 power 4 ohm inverse centimeters, and the temperature increases here when increasing temperature. So why? Because why it is producing current? Because the energy gap between conduction band and also valence band is very small. That's why it is producing current. It consists of two types, that is intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor. Pure metals of semiconductors we call it as intrinsic semiconductor. Example, pure silicon and germanium. Coming to extrinsic, impure metals of semiconductors we call it as extrinsic semiconductors. Before going to this, we should know about doping. Doping is nothing but what means here we are getting impure metals, yes or no? So the amount of suitable metal is added, means suitable impurity we can say, is added is known as doping. See, to produce current, this is an impure metal. To impure metals we should add a suitable reagent. Okay, for example, if let us take water. Okay, to get sweetness of water we are adding sugar. In the same way, to get purity of compound, to get pure compounds or to produce current, we should have some other element. Okay, that's why means the amount of suitable impurity is added is known as doping. Here it consists of two types, that is n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor. Coming to n-type semiconductor, n-type semiconductor is also known as negative type semiconductor. Negative type. P-type is also known as positive type semiconductor. Coming to here, how negative type semiconductor will produce means, so generally silicon and germanium is a group 14 elements, or we can say 4A elements. Okay, so for this, what are the elements we are adding, means which elements we are adding means, for negative type, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. Out of these three, any three elements means group 4A elements. Sorry, this is group 15. Carbon, silicon, germanium. Okay, group 15 or 5A elements. So this is 14A elements. Okay, sorry, I think this is 14 only. Okay, group 14 and 4A, this is 5A elements. So what happens means, see here, negative type semiconductors, silicon and germanium, group 14 or 4A elements we are taking. Phosphorus, arsenic means these elements, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, arsenic, antimony is doped with silicon and germanium to produce current. We call it as n-type semiconductors. See here, once again I am saying, the fifth year group elements is doped with fourth year group elements. Means for example, see here, when you take phosphorus, the outermost configuration you will be getting some 5 outermost shell. Okay, so this is the outermost valence electrons. So this valence electrons are doping with what? 4, means it is having 4 is the valence electron. Okay, so means what? Still it remains 1. So it is equaling, means if 1 plus 4, 4. Okay, 4 electrons are still 1 electron is there. No, this extra electrons, whatever it is there, it will produce current. That one we call it as n-type semiconductors. So what do you mean by n-type semiconductors? 5A group elements is doped with 4A group elements. We call it as n-type semiconductor. So generally 5A group, the valence electrons is 5, and coming to 4A group, the valence electrons is 4 here. Okay, so whenever we are balancing these electrons, there will be one extra electron remains. So the extra electron will produce a current here. Coming to p-type, P type will be taking example same like 4A group elements, and here 3A group elements also we are taking. 3A group elements means boron, aluminum, gallium, indium. Okay, so 3A group elements is doped with 4A group elements to form p-type semiconductor. So coming to here, 3A group, the valency is 3, and coming to here 4A group silicon or germanium, the valency is 4. Here 1 electron is less. Okay, so when we balance these electrons, here 4 it is there, here 3 electrons. Coming to here, how many electrons less? Only 1 electron. That 1 electron will produce a hole in middle of the electrons. So this hole will combine with oppositely charged electrons. This hole, whatever hole we are getting, this hole will combine with oppositely charged electrons, and it will produce the p-type semiconductor. Means it will give this hole, whenever it is attracting the electrons, it will produce current. That's when we call it as p-type semiconductors. See, listen carefully. Semiconductors is nothing but what here? Intermediate between conductors and insulators, we call it as semiconductors. So it is having range 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 power 4 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. So why it is producing current means the energy gap between conduction band and also valence bond is very small. That's why it is exhibiting electrical conductor. It consists of two types, that is intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor. Pure metals of semiconductor, we call it as intrinsic. Example, silicon, germanium we are going to take. Coming to extrinsic semiconductor, impure metals of semiconductors, we call it as extrinsic semiconductor. And before going to this, we should know about the doping. To get purity of the metals, we will be adding suitable impure metal. That's why it is known as doping. So it consists of again two types extrinsic, that is n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor. Coming to n-type semiconductor, it is a negative type and it is a positive type. Means the 5A group elements, means phosphorus, arsenic, antimony is doped with silicon and germanium, we call it as n-type. And how it is producing current means, the valence electron here is 5, means the outermost electron is 5. For example, phosphorus is having atomic number 17, means 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p, 2x, 3p2x, 3p1y, 3p1z. So here the valence electron, the outermost electron is how much? 5. So that's why it is producing 5 electrons. So here what? The 5 electrons and 4 electrons means what? Group 14 elements. Silicon, germanium is having valence electron 4. The valence is 4 here. When we combine this to tetrahedral structure, still 1 electron remains. The extra electron, whatever it is left here, it will produce the current. That's why we call it as this is an n-type semiconductor. Coming to p-type, what here? We are taking here p-type is also known as positive. Here also we will be taking pure metals like silicon, germanium, and impure metals like aluminum, gallium, indium. The 3A elements doped with 4A elements, we call it as p-type semiconductors. Okay, so this p-type semiconductors means there will be a less of one extra electron. The one electron is less. The less electron will produce a hole which will attract the oppositely charged atoms, electrons, and this hole finally produce current. That's why we call it as this is an p-type semiconductor. Okay, so next, this is about electrical properties. Next one, coming to here, magnetic properties. Magnetic properties are classified into different types. Okay, that is diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic, antiferro, and ferri. See here, magnetic properties means in solid state the magnetic properties are divided into 5 types, that is paramagnetic, diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferro, antiferro, ferri. It will come for 2 marks. Okay, so here coming to diamagnetic. Diamagnetic means what here? Weakly repelled. Means what? It will not show any magnetic properties. Okay, weakly repelled magnetic field is known as diamagnetic properties. So here examples will be Zr, O2, TiO2, alkali metals and inert gases. See here, diamagnetic means what here? It is an weakly repelled, and the example weakly repelled by magnetic field we call it as diamagnetic properties. So here the examples is zirconium, TiO2, titanium, alkali metals and inert gases. Inert gases is also known as noble gas elements like helium, argon, krypton, xenon. That one we call it as inert gases. So here we can say one more thing also, paired electrons. These are paired electrons. Okay, this paired, completely filled or completely paired d orbitals also we call it as diamagnetic orbitals. What we can say, completely paired electrons. See here, diamagnetic means what? Weakly repelled by magnetic field or completely paired electrons we call it as diamagnetic properties, diamagnetic materials. So examples is ZrO2, TiO2, alkali metals and inert gases. So this is about diamagnetic materials. So here where we will be using means mainly diamagnetic at insulators. Okay, at insulators we are going to use this. So coming to paramagnetic. Paramagnetic means what? Weakly attracted. Weakly attracted we call it as paramagnetic. Weakly attracted by magnetic field we call it as paramagnetic. So here examples we can take O2, VO, CuO, TiO, VO2. So these are the examples of the paramagnetic. So here unpaired electrons are present. Only one electron we call it as unpaired electrons. So these unpaired electrons also we call it as paramagnetic behavior. Mainly it is shown in electronic devices, means in your watches or in video games, that one. Okay, for example in your watches also you'll be having very little magnet, and also coming to video games we'll be having very little magnets. Means what will happen means when we insert the magnet, okay, at that time only it will show magnetism. When you take it off magnet, it will not show any magnetism, means it will lose their magnetic property. That one we call it as magnetic paramagnetic materials. Paramagnetic means what here? Weakly attracted by magnetic field we call it as paramagnetic material. Examples O2, VO, CuO, TiO, VO2 or Ti2O3 also we call it as paramagnetic examples. Unpaired electrons, here only one electron is there. This is completely paired, 2 electrons. Here one electron is there, no, that's why we call it as unpaired electrons, is also known as paramagnetic behavior. These are mainly shown in electronic devices. Electronic devices is nothing but what here? Electronic devices means watches, we can say, video games, like that materials. We'll be using this paramagnetic materials. Okay, so means it will lose their magnetic character. That one we call it as paramagnetic materials. Coming to ferromagnetic materials. Ferromagnetic materials is nothing but what means it will be strongly attracted by magnetic field. When we apply magnet, so what will happen? It will strongly attract. For example, if you take a iron, okay, so when you take a iron, when you play with that iron in magnet, so after removing magnet also it will show some character, means it will show some magnetism behavior. So that one we call it as ferromagnetism. Even though we are removing the magnets, means it also contains unpaired electrons. Okay, this is also consisting of unpaired electrons. So even though it is containing unpaired electrons, it is strongly attracted by magnetic field. That one we call it as ferromagnetic materials. Here examples we are going to take is FeNiCO, cobalt, CrO2, chromium oxide. This is mainly used in audios and videos. Okay, this chromium dioxide, whatever it is there, so it is mainly used in audios and videos. So this is about ferromagnetic materials. Ferromagnetic means what? Strongly attracted by magnetic field. We call it as ferromagnetic, even though it is unpaired electrons. Okay, it consisting of unpaired electrons. It does not lose the magnetic behavior after removing the magnets. We call it as ferromagnetic materials. Examples is FeNiCO, CrO2. Fe, iron, nickel, cobalt. Okay, CrO2 means chromium dioxide. This chromium dioxide mainly we will be using in audio and video purposes. Coming to antiferro, this will not show magnetic behavior, means very little, even though it is also consisting, means it is neutralized like diamagnetic. So here the magnetic moment will be 0. Magnetic moment means what here? It will be denoted by mu. It is having some formula, n into n plus 2 root n into. So this is magnetic moment. This one we have to calculate. Okay, so this is mainly we'll be having for metals to calculate, that is Cr, 2O3, MnO, MnO2, NiO. So these are the examples of the antiferro. Okay, so what happens means these are oppositely charged, yes or no?